Democracy works. MI5 Officer Finley body had always loved how amazing democracy was. It gave the amazing, wonderful people of a country the chance to have their say, choose their leaders, and actually have an input into how they wanted their rulers to impact their lives. It was just such an amazing way to run a country, and Finley seriously felt sorry for any country unfortunate enough not to have their absolutely brilliant governance system. And Finley was going to do anything in his power to keep UK democracy working. Finley sat in his little black car with the heating on full blast to keep himself warm and toasty, and ready for action. He had parked his little car on a long wide road filled with potholes, broken street lamps and overflowing rubbish bins, but Finley wouldn't have it any other way. As he looked at all the abandoned warehouses that lined the road with their wire fences rusting away and getting broken into more times than not, Finley was so excited to be here. The road thankfully wasn't completely empty, as there were about 10 other cars parked on the road, but all of those had smashed windscreens, stolen hubcaps, and some even had their cars stolen. Yet that was all good, because at least it sort of gave Finley a little bit more camouflage, in case anyone in those warehouses and so-called abandoned factories saw him. Tonight was a perfect night for intelligence work, with it being pitch black, icy cold, and there was no one about. Finley could probably run, dance and scream down the road without anyone paying attention to him or even noticing he was here. But that was too much of a risk. Finley might have preferred to be at the gym tonight working on his body, to make sure he had the strength required for his job, not for vanity reasons. But he had had a leg day yesterday, or maybe he could have been working on his amateur gymnastic routines, which he was amazingly good at, or maybe he could have gone to some gay clubs in London or Kent to meet a cute boy. But he loved intelligence work and democracy far too much for any of that to stop him coming out tonight. And Finley was really glad that his vegan chia latte was sending beautiful hints of cinnamon, bitter coffee, and sweet sugary scents into the air, and it made the delightful taste of cookie form on his tongue. It was so nice to smell something good for a change, considering how bad the car stunk when MI5 had first given it to him. It was so cold outside that Finley was surprised that the little black car that MI5 had given him for this mission hadn't frozen or failed to start because it was so icy. Finley had been concerned about the engine coolant getting frozen, but he had to admit that MI5 was better than that. Even the icy cold silence of the road Finley was watching was a great change from all the constant noise, chaos and business of London and the other cities that Finley normally worked in. But Finley just...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?